You already know today's gonna be a good day. Look at the box. Let's get into it. So for starters, this video is going to be about the Tamron 28-75 f2.8 G2 lens. That's a mouthful right there. Basically, this is the lens that put Tamron on the map in the first place. This lens was a bestseller about 2 to 3 years ago and still sells today for the Sony a7 III. So you want to be an all-around shooter? This is the lens for you. This is the product for you, and it's budget friendly. So guys, we're in the studio right now and it's super cold, so that's why I still got the jacket on. But let's get into this review. So if we aren't going handheld during our photography session today, we're gonna have our camera on the Zhiyun Crane or the Zhiyun Weevil S, which is around 3 years old, but it is still my go-to. Today we're also rocking with the Sony a7 III, which is not new to the world, but it's new to me. I use the a7 III still because it's perfect for what I need it for and for what I'm going to need it for in the near future. Now the next part of customization I add to this lens is a Tiffin Pro Mist or a Tiffin variable ND filter. Now this takes the sharpness off the image and gives you more of a dreamy look in your photos and video. So the biggest plus about this lens is that range 28-75 and that consistent aperture f2.8, which is still amazing. Now you don't need the range if you're not going to use the range, right? So the 28-75 offers the landscape all the way down to portrait at that f2.8. So from 28-75 at f2.8, you can't beat it at this price. No matter how far I zoom out or zoom in on this camera, the background blur remains the same. You want that creamy, nice bokeh, bokeh, however you say that word, you want that. So this past weekend, I took the a7 III and the Tamron 28-75 G2 out on a wedding shoot in Long Island and basically check out the results. This lens was super clutch for me this past weekend because I didn't have to switch lenses. I kept that same lens on 28-75. I zoomed in, I zoomed out, I moved forward, I moved backwards just to get the perfect shots for my clients. I was able to get video and photo almost simultaneously with the a7 III, and this is the perfect setup. Again, I cannot stress it anymore for someone just starting out or for someone trying to do everything. Now, when I say everything, I do not mean vlogging. This lens only goes down to, according to the box and according to the lens, obviously, it only goes down to 28mm, which isn't that wide unless your arm is really far back when you're holding it. And unless you're 6'7" or 6'9" or taller than me, you can't really use this lens for vlogging unless you have an extender arm or you're using your gimbal or you're really strong and you can hold your camera up for that long. Literally, all you need is a strong gust of wind to come while you're holding your camera way out there and you're down $3,000 just like that. Now, this lens is perfect for vlogging because it goes down to 17, but not really perfect when it comes for portraits or to get more detailed shots because it only goes up to 70. Believe it or not, that extra 5mm makes a big difference in terms of wedding photography, in terms of intimacy or detail shots. It makes a big difference. This lens also comes with a little bit of a special feature. Now, the lens body feels expensive. It feels way better than the 17-70 or the 18-300 that I have right here. It's a newer, more sleeker design. So the 18-300 that just came out, which is an incredible zoom lens, y'all check that video out in the description. It doesn't have a side button for you to access special features. Now, the Tamron 28-75 comes with a special side button and a USB-C plug, which lets you edit firmware or edit settings within the lens itself. So this Tamron lens also comes with a 67mm thread, which is the same for the 18-30, the previous model of this lens, and the 17-70. So if you're somebody who's collecting accessories, who's been growing their cameras and their lenses over the past couple years, you won't have to make any more adaptations for this lens other than just buying the lens. Look at this image here of the bride. Comes in super clear, and honestly, every aspect of this image is in great detail outside of the edges there. Got a little bit of vignetting on the side there, but other than that, pretty awesome. So as long as you understand the basics when it comes to your camera, when it comes to measuring your shot, focal length, shutter speed, and aperture. When you're at a shoot, your client is going to be super impressed with the finished product that you get from this lens and this camera setup. So guys, that's my opinions, pros and cons on the Tamron 28-75 f2.8 G2. That is a lot to say. Awesome lens, very cheap price, all around great, but not good at one specific thing. Again, it's for somebody who's well-rounded and for somebody who does run and gun stuff. So if you demand efficiency and quickness in your lenses, this is for you. Now, I don't know what this looks like on the A7 IV, but as soon as I get that camera, I will let you guys know. My hands are actually turning red from how cold it is. It's your boy, Kip Jackson. Peace. Oh yeah, start somewhere. Drop the mic.